Hello mabuhay, good day. We are the Group 4 and we are here to discuss the Presidential Degree 1586. So before we start our discussion, we would like to introduce ourselves first. So I'm John Raymond C. Tikis and I'm with Miss Catherine Rodrigo and Miss Jessa Ortega and Mr. Gregorio Pasha. So to start our discussion, here's a short introduction for our topic. So the Presidential Decree 1586 establishing an environmental impact statement system including other environmental management related measures for other purposes. So the Presidential Decree 1586 it established the Environment Impact Assessment System in 1978 to facilitate the attainment and maintenance of national and orderly balance between socio-economic development and environmental protection. So the environment impact assessment system, it is a planning and management tool that will help government decision makers, their proponents, and the affected community address the negative consequence or risk on the environment. And this process assures implementation of environment friendly projects. So that is the Presidential Degree 1586. So to continue our discussion, here's Mr. Gregorio Pasha.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tigis. So, to continue the lesson, let's talk about the EIS or the Environmental Impact Statement System. The purpose of the Environmental Impact Statement System is to assess and disclose the potential environmental effects of proposed projects or actions. It also aims to ensure that decision makers and the public are informed about the environmental consequences of proposed activities before decisions are made. This is the process helps to identify ways to minimize adverse impact, enhance environmental benefits, and consider alternative approach to achieve project goals while protecting the environment. So in addition, the primary purpose of assessing and disclosing environmental effects, the environmental impacts statement or the EIS system serve as several other important purposes. The first one is public awareness participation. Second is legal compliance. Third is integrated planning and decision making. Fourth is identification of mitigation measures. Fifth is scientific and technical assessment. Six is cumulative impacts. And the last one is documentation and accountability. So overall, the environmental impact statement system plays a crucial role in promoting sustainable development by balancing development activities with environmental protection and ensuring informed decision making. So in the Philippines, the environmental impact statement system distinguishes three types of projects based on their potential environmental impacts and scale. So these distinctions help determine the level of assessments and scrutiny required. So the first one is the environmentally critical projects or ECP. These projects with significant potential environmental impacts, either adverse or beneficial. Examples include large scale mining operations, major infrastructure projects such as dams and highways, industrial estates and energy projects like power plants. So ECP required the preparation of a comprehensive environmental impact assessment or the EIA report, which included an EIS. So the EIS assesses potential impacts and propose mitigation measures. So the second one is environmentally critical areas or ECA. So these areas of high environmental value or sensitivity where certain activities are restricted or prohibited to prevent degradation. So examples include protected areas, waterfalls, coastal zones, and critical habitats. So projects located within ECA must undergo environmental compliance certificate or the ECC process, while an EIS may not always be required. An environmental assessment necessary to ensure the projects comply with environmental regulations and protect these sensitive areas. So, other projects requiring ECC, these are projects that do not fall under the ECP categories but are still likely to have significant environmental impacts. So examples include the medium-sized industrial facilities, commercial developments, and infrastructure projects that are not classified as ECPS.
The Presidential Decree 1586 has an Environmental Compliance Certificate or the ECC, which is required for environmentally critical projects or these ECPs. These ECPs includes heavy industries such as non-ferrous metal industries, iron, and steel mills. It also includes petroleum and petrochemical industries, including oil, gas, and smelting plants. Forestry project, fishery project, infrastructure project, and golf courses is also included. And the ECC for ECPs is approved by the Secretary of the Department of Environmental and Natural Resources or the DENR. And just an additional, the Environmental Compliance Certificate or the ECC is the document issued that allows a proposed project to proceed to the next stage of project planning, which is the acquisition of the approvals from the other government agencies or LGUs, and after which the project can start the implementation. The ECC is typically mistaken to mean Environmental Clearance Certificate because it provides authorization for a project to proceed. But however, the correct term compliant refers to the project being compliant with given requirements.
Environmentally critical areas (ECAs) include all areas declared by law as national parks, watershed reserve, wildlife reserve, and sanctuaries areas of aesthetic value which has potential as tourist spots, habitats for endangered or threatened species of Philippine wildlife, places with unique historical, archaeological, or scientific interest. ECAs also include areas frequently visited by natural calamity sites, traditionally occupied by indigenous peoples, prime agricultural lands, critical slopes, recharge areas for aquifers, water bodies and mangrove areas, coral reefs. An aquifer is a layer of water-bearing rock located underground that transmit water in sufficient quantity to supply pumping wells or natural spring. RA 9275.
Thank you, Ms. Ortega. Projects in ECAS requires ECCs, which are signed by DENR Environmental Management Bureau Regional Director, and projects that are not covered by either ECA or ECP requirements or either are necessarily to secure a certificate of non-coverage or CNC from the Environmental Management Bureau or Regional Office.